this is a miniature from a company called Masterbox. And it's a multi-part plastic miniature. So I had to assemble this miniature and all these little accessories, and it's a 2/2 body, the arms, the hands. So I had to assemble this, and so here's one of them. The amazing thing is, look, actually standing. Here's the other one. So obviously these are law enforcement miniatures, and we have two that came in this set. And I left the head. He's not a headless officer, so kind of got this Bruce Willis vibe to him, doesn't he? So I left the head off of this one just so I can kind of try to paint it a little more carefully. But so we kind of gonna go like this with these miniatures, and I'm really excited because I have this great idea for these miniatures. This is going to be a part of a larger diorama. So I finally got around to assembling them. Didn't take long, maybe like an hour to assemble both of them, and waited for the glue to dry. So yeah, here they are. So we're gonna get started on these, and what I'm gonna do is, what I usually do is start off with a quick dry brush. Now the question comes, what our color scheme for these is gonna be. And so simple brush, and we're going to use just some bone white from the amazing people at Vallejo. We definitely could go with the dark navy, old school LAPD look. That's always classic, iconic, or NYPD look with that dark navy. But I think for some more interest, we're going to make these, instead of LAPD, we're going to make these LASD, so Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. So we're going to go with a khaki top, some some dark green pants, boots, black accessories, and I think that's going to be a really unique, cool look for these miniatures. Okay, so let's get started with the dry brushing, and we'll do Officer Old Guy first, and then we'll get to Officer McHotterson. Okay, so we're just going to gently dry brush. We start almost all of our black prime miniatures this way. So here we go. So there you can see some of the details start to kind of pop out, and dry brushing is helpful just to kind of obviate like what those details are. Sometimes it's hard, like whatever the miniature is, like just jet black. Of course, this was Chaos Black. That's the primer I very strongly prefer using when it comes to this kind of work. Chaos Black is this great primer from our really good friends at Games Workshop. But these are not wargaming miniatures, really. You can see the scale is quite large. And so these are more like display miniatures. They're in 1/24 scale. They're in 1/24 scale. So these are very useful for like people that do scale modeling to kind of make little dioramas with their models. And there's also a lot of diecast vehicles in 1/24 scale, and that's kind of what the eventual part of this is going to be. Is there's going to be a die-cast vehicle involved, and it's going to be awesome. Multiple miniatures. So I'm really excited about it. It's got this like old school look to it. It's almost like, remember that movie with Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Val Kilmer, who knows the movie, set in Los Angeles, Heat. So I don't know, for some reason it's got this really cool look about it. So many great crime movies set in LA. So yeah, so there you go. So Officer McHotterson is kind of doing okay. I wanted to leave the arm section off of this miniature, but what you don't maybe realize is that the hand is two parts, the rifle is separate, this hand is separate and both arms are separate. So it's very hard to put the miniature together whenever it's that many pieces, and they have to go together just right for the hand, to end up, both hands to end up where they need to be. So that's why this whole miniature had to be fully assembled. Even the head, so the ponytail is an individual piece, and so that's why I just had to kind of put the whole thing together. Well, there we go. So we are well underway. So with just 4 colors, we'll put them in the back here. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is what we have. I love the head. But you can see how the details are starting to kind of come out with just these colors. You can see how we applied them. And so we are getting close. Now the next step for us is going to be, the shirt is darker than we want it to be. The pants are a little bit darker than we want it to be. So is the skin. So we're going to start dark. These are darker colors, and we're going to highlight them up. And so all I'm going to do is I'm going to run a fine brush to pick out some of the highlights to brighten up the miniatures, including the face, the shirt, the pants, and then maybe some of the accessories, and that should be close to being done. I think our Los Angeles Sheriff Department crew is looking really good. Okay, hang tight for the next update. All right, here we go. So let's see how far we've gotten. And I think these two look really good so far. You can see how everything is lightened up. I've added like a detail or a highlight color to the accessories and the rifle. Same thing with the service pistol and the accessories here. We've lightened up the uniform by adding I think a highlight color mostly to the creases and also on the pants. And so far so good. So looking forward to showing y'all the final reveal on this cool little set of law enforcement agents. And we've painted these up a little bit differently. So these are Sheriff's Department, not a PD. And I thought that would be a cool way to add a little bit more color instead of just navy blue or like black. All right, guys, hope you all enjoyed looking at these two. Take care, bye.